Hello and welcome guys to the Mineski Pro Gaming League Season 6, the Southeast Asian qualifier. It is Group B and well, it's gonna be Gse7en going up against Titan in a 2-game series, if at least the last spectator loads in as well. My name is Coucher and I am joined by Whiplash. At least I think I am, unless he has himself muted.
Hello, I'm here. I just had to unmute myself real quick. Waiting on that last loader, man. It seems to happen a little bit more than it should, but hello to everyone out there. Good to be here casting with you once again, Couchshore. And it's been a while since I've casted Titan. I think it was the TI qualifiers the last time I actually got the chance to do that, but it looks like everybody has actually been able to load in, so we will get the draft started underway shortly. Once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Gse7en showed us some pretty interesting drafts last time. We casted them yesterday, but it was like a mix, if you guys recall. Basically, sometimes Gse7en, they had these really cool drafts and they worked. Other times, it kind of fell apart.
Yeah, they definitely did really well against Awake, I think it was, but against MSI it was just... They felt to me that they just went full YOLO mode, kind of. But hopefully we will see something better or greater from them this time around. Looking at the bans, Gse7en actually first banning out an Earthshaker. That's like, yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Why? I don't know, man.
I think they just really don't like playing against the Earthshaker. He can be kind of pesky to play against, and I mean, if the team just finds that they really have trouble with a certain hero, then you know, just ban it out. It's not normally a hero you'll see in the first ban phase, but this is something at least pretty consistent that we saw from Gse7en yesterday. And Titan banning out the Meepo, this is a hero we saw Gse7en play pretty darn efficiently in one of their games, so I'm not too surprised on that ban. And of course, Doom is Doom, and I was just about to say we'll probably see a Lycan ban next. He's already been swiped from the board, so now we'll move into the first picking phase. And like I said, haven't casted any Titans since the TI qualifiers. Well, actually, no, they weren't even in that, but since that time period, basically. So I am excited to cast them once again and see what they're up to.
It's exactly the same for me as well. I mean, if it was the Titan pre-TI4, they would just be picking up a Shadow Shaman first pick, to be honest. It was just their go-to hero net, picking it up, getting that early blink dagger, which he somehow always gets. But now things have changed a little bit, and yeah, the Skywrath Mage, also just a support hero that has completely risen to prominence. And well, of course, now Gse7en, if they want to go for the Brewmaster, there will be a semi-counter to it already.
Yeah, the Brewmaster could certainly be picked up early on, and maybe they even just get the Void early on to kind of deny Titan from getting that 1-2 hit combination with the Chronosphere, then the Skywrath laying down his Mystic Flare ability. That's something that could be very dangerous. Definitely a strategy that rose to prominence around the TI era, or at least became popularized, as well as the Skywrath pick in general. We also have Razor still in the pool, another very popular hero that I believe Gse7en has ran a few times and is comfortable with. So, okay, looks like they go ahead and they do get that Faceless Void. First of all, the hero is really good pickup in general, and it's also someone that can pair really well with Skywrath, so I kind of like it as both a pick and like a deny pick from Titan.
Yeah, Gse7en, they're gonna go for even more ultimates, picking up the Enigma as well. So, if Titan won't ban it out or pick it themselves, if Gse7en get their hands on also something like a Tidehunter, it could be extremely devastating. I'm not too sure actually if it was with you I saw a game like that. Maybe it was with somebody else. But Enigma, Tidehunter and Faceless Void in the same team equals just you not being able to team fight into that at all. But
yeah, I believe we did cast that together. Holy
sniper,
crap.
Man. Second pick Sniper, are you kidding me? This...
Okay. We saw... we saw a few teams pick Sniper up, but they almost always use it as like a 5th pick. Picking it up so early... This is really weird, man. What does this mean, Couchshore?
Well, to be honest, it can counter the Enigma somewhat. First of all, you can cast the Assassinate, it should have a mini stun on it as well. And just having that huge range coming in from Take Aim, that means you can even disrupt the Enigma through the BKB when you just get the proc of the headshot. So in theory, it can actually work pretty well against the Enigma and the Faceless Void. Also the shrapnel range is just so huge that Faceless Void goes for a Chrono in your team fight, Sniper just puts a shrapnel on him and starts right-clicking away, and he can distance himself, and in theory at least, he should be far away from the front of the team fight, that if he gets caught by a Chrono, it's either really well executed by Gse7en just pincering them, or Sniper is just completely out of position.
I'm sure the Faceless Void, he sees two relatively squishy heroes from the get-go. He'll be pretty happy about jumping in, getting some solo kills here and there if the opportunity arises. I'm looking at the second phase of bans. We're starting to see some of the tankier heroes get removed from the pool. Both the Brewmaster as well as the Centaur stricken from the map, and also Viper, another decently tanky hero, as well as a very strong mid laner, has been removed. So they'll go ahead and get rid of the Sand King as well. That's another hero that Titan loves to play a lot of, and can play a pretty darn good Sand King, so I'm not entirely surprised about that ban as well.
Definitely not. Like you said, Titan, they just love the Sand King for themselves. It's just a really high playmaking value hero as well. Just get that early blink dagger and completely start setting up kills left and right on every single lane. But Gse7en now, I mean, yes, they can also of course run the Faceless Void off lane. The Tidehunter is still available for them if they really want to pick it up. As well, I guess they do need at least one additional support for themselves, and Shadow Shaman is still available, and with the Demonic Conversion, the Eidolons from the Enigma and the Mass Serpent Wards, could be a pretty damn strong pushing lineup as well.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be pretty happy with either the Tidehunter or the Shadow Shaman. Maybe the Shadow Shaman a little bit higher value just because of that pushing power when you combine it with the Enigma, and they both have really good teamfight potential, and then the follow-up, the takedown objectives pretty fast. But if they picked up either of those, I'd be pretty happy. I don't think they will pick up their mid laner just yet. That'd feel kind of off, but definitely looking for a support. Maybe that off laner is what I would expect next from Gse7en. Looking over at Titan's side, and okay, will be the Tidehunter after all, so really going for that wombo combo, just ultimate team fight composition. Moving over to Titan's end, I mean, the Shadow Shaman, like we were talking about, still, he is available, and maybe it's a hero they'll pick up, but if they do that, then they kind of have to be concerned about having too many heroes that are kind of like just paper lightweight heroes that can easily get, you know, nuked down or just physical DPS bursted down if they're not careful. They could use some kind of frontliner, a tanky hero, maybe like a Wraith King or something, just to kind of, you know, provide a buffer between the guys in the back that are weak and the people on the front lines.
They definitely, or any team can use a hero like that who can just be the bouncer like at the nightclub. He won't let people near his, well, homies, so to say, but man, Titan. What do they go for? Skywrath Mage, Sniper, both are rather squishy heroes and might just get eaten up completely in the midst of a team fight. But Death Prophet is one hero that is available. Silence pretty good against any of Gse7en's heroes if you can land it properly. But when it's maxed out, the radius actually is pretty damn huge on that spell. But, I mean, what else could they go for? Given that the Sniper is going to be mid lane, or at least that's how it's usually played, I think, or I have seen it lately being played like that. That limits their hero pool a little bit as well. And offlane heroes, Centaur was banned. I guess Clockwork is still available.
Yeah, Clockwork's kind of fallen off a lot in the meta, I also want to say. Faceless Void, Clockwork won't be too great against him. I guess it'll be pretty solid against the other ones, though. And, I mean, if they picked it up, I guess it would be a pretty good synergy with Skywrath, but wow. I'm reading minds today, Coucher, because Titan just picked up the Wraith King. I guess they were thinking what I was thinking. They need a very tanky frontliner, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in the support role, but the lineup is still open. They could really play the Wraith King in either position if they wanted to, but he does pair pretty decently with the Skywrath. You have the stun and then the slow follow-up. That combined with the Mystic Flare equals just a lot of damage overall.
It's definitely not bad, and if this Wraith King should be in a carry role, I love Wraith King carry against massive wombo combo lineups, because Gse7en, if they blow all of their ultimates, Wraith King dies once, but it's gonna come back to life anyway. So Gse7en, I'm kind of hoping for that they will pick up at least something that can fight more often than like their 2 to 3 minute cooldowns on their ultimates. Centaur, of course, in that way, I love him as an offlaner because he just mostly needs the Blink Dagger, and every time the Hoof Stomp is off cooldown, they can go. But it's a Death Prophet for them. Crypt's form is nice for some counter push, of course. Having a Silence, it's, well, at least so far, not going to be too effective probably against Titan. Getting some extra push for themselves. But it's once again just, you have to rely on those ultimates.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to think that maybe a Tinker would be a decent pickup for Titan, because if you look at Gse7en, they have just so much pushing power, and a hero like the Tinker could kind of like delay the push by a little bit, allow that sniper to get a little bit more farm, maybe even the Wraith King as well, depending on how they want to lane him. But the Rubik, which the Titan picks up, is also another really solid choice. With him, you pretty much have 4 extremely good ultimates and a multitude of solid abilities that you can easily pick up from the other heroes. So I definitely can see the Rubik working out very well in Titan's lineup as long as he gets the proper positioning. We'll also see the final 2 bans go through. Looks like it's a pair of offlaners in both the Gse7en as well as the Clockwork. So we will move into the final 2 picks before we get into game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, the issue with the Tinker might be for Titan now is that how would they actually lane this? They can actually maybe leave like Wraith King solo against Faceless Void, run a aggressive tri-lane with a Tinker. I mean, Skyref, Rubik, Tinker could be accomplishing quite a lot, I think, especially if it's up against a pseudo tri-lane, Enigma being in the jungle and just Faceless Void +1 probably in the save. But Titan, man, I am really afraid for them at the moment. Of course, coming into this game, they must be the heavy favorites, doing really well at TI4 and overall just being the premier Southeast Asian team for a pretty long time, to be honest now. But looking at the draft, can they execute it to perfection and just prevent Gse7en from properly getting their teamfight going?
That does seem to be the question, and in a meta where the hero picks are such an important part of your success or failure in the actual game, I have to say I am a little bit worried for Titan, but I mean, you know, these guys, they did go to TI4, they placed top 3 at TI3, they're a very strong team, and you know, Gse7en, we did see some mistakes from them in their previous games. They didn't execute everything flawlessly, even though they may have had proper compositions or heroes and whatnot, but we did see them in their comfort zone, and when they were able to execute everything properly, it looked pretty darn powerful. Now Titan, they grabbed the Batrider as the final hero, Gse7en picking up a support with the Jakiro, so that will finish up our lineups. Titan, they have 1 tanky hero on the front line, and a decent amount of DPS, but I mean, when you look at Gse7en and you just see the, I guess, the synergy between these heroes, the pure amount of team fight and wombo combo they have to them, it's hard not to look at their lineup and say that it looks like Gse7en definitely has an advantage when it comes to the draft.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely do. And the Batrider, he's gonna just have a couple of tanky heroes facing him as well. I mean, Jakiro is one of the tankiest supports, and just getting the extra push, Liquid Fire overall. But Gse7en, they need to get their Blink Daggers just to get close to the sniper, it feels like. And of course Titan, if they can just keep on picking people off with the Batrider, they may be able to just completely avoid those peak team fights to begin with. But Gse7en, that's the beauty of, if you go for wombo combo, you can already go for like all 5 heroes having that part of the wombo there. Because if one dies, the 4 ultimates that the other heroes have might still be enough to just get you the win in a fight.
That's true. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and introduce our teams here at the Mineski Pro Gaming League. I'll go ahead and introduce Titan over at the top right. On the dire side, we have NWP playing as the carry Wraith King. Moving over to support number 1, it will be X on the Rubik. And then moving to the mid lane sniper, it's KYXY. As the support Skywrath Mage, it will be the ever-famous Nets. And then finally, in the off lane, it will be Ohio on the Batrider.
And for Gse7en, for the underdogs for this game on the Radiant side, Show will be playing the Faceless Void in the off lane, leaving Kenji to actually, at the moment, go for a mid lane Tidehunter, with Kalai on the Enigma in the jungle, leaving Linger to play the Jakiro on the bottom, and Leo, a safe lane Death Prophet. What do you actually think of
liking
this
the safe lane Death Prophet?
Like,
this is actually something that MVP Phoenix does a lot. The player March, normally the carry for MVP Phoenix, he plays a lot of unconventional carries, like he'll put Death Prophet in a safe lane and player as like the position 1. He'll also play like a Warlock in that position as well. I've even seen him pick up Wisp a few times. It's really weird. He doesn't really play it as a carry, but just still, I guess, a versatile player in general. But I actually really do like Death Prophet in this safe lane. She's a hero. You get her items up and running sooner than later. All of a sudden, she's extremely tanky. You're able to push down towers whenever you have Exorcism up, and it's quite hard to deal with the hero. I think Titan, the Wraith King, the Sniper, they're going to need their farm, and if they get stifled early on in the match, I feel they will really just fall a little bit too far behind. While Gse7en, you know, if they lose a hero here and there, they still have just their team fight ability, which can really pull them through over like item selection, for instance.
yeah, I mean, she's mostly like Tidehunter against Sniper. Wouldn't the Death Prophet have been a little bit better off? Just get the creeps farm, get the farm that way. And actually, one thing that I do prefer about Titan rather than Gse7en is that Titan supports, they are much more open and way scarier as far as roaming goes. Because Enigma, of course, can't go for anything. Oh, top lane Fist Void! You know, stun already comes out from Yamate, but they just want to make him use his tangos.
Yeah, I don't think they could have really killed him there, but it's still annoying. They brought him down to about half health, and actually the Rubik, picking up the double damage turn early on, will kind of scare him away a little bit more. But other than that, I'm wondering, this bottom lane, it is the Jakiro / Death Prophet versus the Bat Rider, while Enigma just kind of farms up in the jungle with the Eidolons. So I do expect the Bat Rider to just kind of, you know, get experience for the most part, but he won't be farming like a normal Bat Rider, I suppose, with the pressure of this Jakiro. And I guess, you know, Death Prophet, who normally you don't see in the safe lane, he is a kind of annoying hero to deal with the spamming Crypt Swarm.
Yeah, actually, at the moment, Sniper, he already brought himself up by Magic Stick because he knows the Tidehunter is going to spam so much, but the headshots, the harass from the Sniper is just so much on the Tidehunter. Oh man. No Stout Shield, Kraken Shell only level 1 at the moment as well. KYXY, he's leading in last hits, and to be honest, I don't think it's going to stop because Sniper, he starts with rather low base attack. So once he gets more levels, gets higher range thanks to the take game, more points into headshot possibly as well, he can just continuously harass better and better on the Tide.
Check out this Faceless Void as well as the Skywrath, just kind of waiting for control over this regeneration rune that just spawned top lane. I don't know, we'll see if KYXY wants to go ahead and pick that up. He's got a lot of creeps here to deal with though, so he may just go ahead and let that one go. I'm sure Kenji would love that rune, but it was already picked up.
Yeah, the battle for the runes is actually one thing that we see way more in high level Dota than low level. Just the supports, everybody rotating around to ensure that your mid laner is the one getting the control of it. At the moment, Tidehunter probably would want it. Sniper, I guess, doesn't care as much because he doesn't have a bottle anyway. At least not at the moment. Now it's just coming out to him. And, well, at least Enigma just farms up like a madman. Already has his soul ring.
Yeah, it looks like the Sniper has picked up a point into Shrapnel, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he is going to be maxing out that ability first. Kind of like the new way to play Sniper, I feel, is you max out his Q ability, and then you go from there into the other spells, but you at least put 1 point into everything first off. I mean, it has insane range. It's good for kind of poking down towers here and there, and it's just an annoying spell in general to deal with. So I do like that people have started utilizing Sniper in more ways than one.
Yeah, it gives him just so much harass, to be honest, because now Tidehunter, he can't really, or he doesn't want to at least run into the creeps like that. And you can do it from such a safe distance as well. The range on the Shrapnel is so ridiculous, plus it also does damage to the buildings.
Yeah, that's another big, really cool part of the ability.
Man, the harass on the Faceless Void, he's only level 2.5 compared to the counterpart of Haya, well, who now gets his own bottle as well, so he's just gonna be fine. Battle level 4.5, doing really well. Not too many last hits, but as far as off lanes are concerned, I think he's happy about himself.
Yeah, looks like Faceless Void really vying for control over this rune. He picks up the haste, but will get lifted up by the Rubik. Do they have enough DPS to burst him down? He Chronos to the top, and Sniper actually very low on health. He could end up giving first blood, but no, this Void, look at him try to run away from the Q ability. of the Skywrath. He will survive, but I don't know about this Tidehunter. It's going to be a very close call for him. Can he actually survive? He's tanky. He's running into the tree line, though. 37 health. He's getting lifted up, and this does look like it will be first blood going to net on that Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, that was so close. I mean, the best sniper did drop down pretty damn low. The Geist, the Anchor Smash came out a few right clicks from the Faceless Void. But then KYX just set down the shrapnel and completely kited the Tidehunter around. The Tide, literally, he couldn't get in range anymore. And Faceless Void, he's so low on health, yet he wants to pick up some XP. He has a healing cell now, thank god for him. As Yamate just... he's gonna get his hand off Midas by the 5th minute mark, almost. So really fast Wraith King Midas. Gonna get him some early levels, get at level 11 pretty soon to just have the 100-second lower cooldown on Reincarnation.
You know what? The Faceless Void, he was healing up with the South and actually got in range of NWP, which he just used the Wraithfire Blast and, you know, kind of got rid of that South before it was even halfway done. So I feel that was a slight misstep from the Faceless Void here on this offlane from Gse7en. He could have definitely been at a higher health amount if it weren't for that. And I've also noticed it looks like they've rotated X towards the mid lane just to pick up a little bit of extra experience. While the Sniper, he is very close to 6, has moved to the bottom for the time being. And Batrider going back to heal up as well. So it looks like Titan just trying to get the most out of all of their lanes and spread out the experience to those that need it.
Yeah, and KYXY should be fine here as well. It's not like anybody here can get the jump on him unless Faceless Void comes in with a nice time walk. And the tower has been dropping really low. Chakiro just been using the Liquid Fire constantly. As KYXY, well, Illusion Room bottled up. Tower defense a little bit easier. Although I do believe the tower should still go down rather fast. I mean, Leo, he can clear up creep base with Creep Swarm. Linger just comes in with the Liquid Fire, and I mean, the tower is only on 215 HP.
That's true. We do have that Assassinate ability being used on Jakiro, bringing him down a decent amount, but still above half health. Yeah, I think a lot of people, they don't realize actually how good of a pusher Jakiro is. The Liquid Fire makes the towers do a significantly smaller amount of DPS, which means the creeps survive for a lot longer. They do more DPS. The Liquid Fire ability itself does damage to the tower over time. And just, you know, it creates more time, makes more space, and the towers fall quite quickly. So with the lineup, looks like Tidehunter ended up dying somewhere else on the map. I missed that. But yeah, like, basically the pushing power of Gse7en is not to be underestimated.
Yeah, the Tidehunter just died near the top rune. He got just ambushed by 3 heroes there. Even the Batrider joined in. But KYXY might be in trouble. There comes Enigma. Malphite comes out. Should be an easy kill on the Sniper. Crypt for lands as well. Oh, would he even waste the Black Hole for it? Or, well, not waste, but kill secured. Oh, but
kill certainly secured. NWP comes in though. Can he actually kill up the Death Prophet? Yes, he gets a final crit before he can really do anything. The Crypt Swarm, or excuse me, never mind. There's a stun on Shakiro, and NWP, he's just going for it. Will avoid the Ice Path. Walks through it now, and it's either a lucky crit or one more hit. If he can get it off, it's so close. NWP, there he goes. He gets the crit. That's a double kill from him. Well, this Wraith King is already having a wonderful time. Meanwhile, top lane, they could go after this Tidehunter. There's a third TP coming in. He does have the Ravage available if he wants to use it. I think it may have to be used at this time. There it is. He's going to turn around, actually, but this could be a mistake, as there's a Sassy. No, he will at least get a single kill. Will give up his life, but still, considering that 3 people came up there, and Tidehunter still got a kill, that's pretty darn impressive. Meanwhile, bottom lane, the action continues as we see NWP. He gets killed off Reincarnation on cooldown. X will lift up Leo. They get the kill onto the Death Prophets. We'll see, though. Faceless Void can get away. He's low on health. He chronos away. Or time walks away, and it looks like he is okay. So that'll be the end of that engagement, but a lot of back and forth fights. Looking like Titan ending up on top due to their 7-2 score.
Yeah, definitely the Enigma who came in from behind to kill off the Sniper. He was actually then caught between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers and actually decided to run towards the tire base. So in the end got chased down as well. And I guess looking at the early graphs out of this fight, Titan, they are 3,500 gold ahead almost. 4,500 XP, and Ohio gets himself the Blink Dagger on the Batrider already as well, 9 minutes into the game. So it's going really well for them. This Wraith King, he is free, 0 and 0. Has the Midas already level 9 as well, 9 minutes into the game, almost 10. Just getting those kills bottom lane, it was such a crucial rotation by him. And Faceless Void, he time walk onto him trying to get the kill, but just to no avail.
Looks like they potentially wanted to attack NWP, but I mean, it looks like it wouldn't have happened.
Okay, YXY top lane, gonna go down, slowed down by the guys as well. Magic Wand, nope.
Whoa, he was a little bit too far into no man's land. I suppose the tower's still down, but still, that is a little bit of a concern. By the way, we will have a smoke and a lasso onto the Enigma in the bottom lane. Can they actually finish him off, though? He's so low on health. Yes, indeed, he will go down. They're going to go after the Jakiro next. He tries to use Ice Path, but it's simply not enough. There's too much DPS there, and they get a 2-0. So it looks like the sniper dying in the top lane, not the biggest deal, as they still get a somewhat favorable trade overall. Maybe they'll even turn it around and try to take the bottom tier 1 tower, even though the Titan's tier 1 tower at the bottom lane is very low on health.
Yeah, it might be ending up as a trade, although Titan looks like they are in the more favorable position at the moment. Yamate just hitting away at the tower while extinct. Provide some backup from the trees. If anybody comes in, just can lay down an Ice Path, which of course doesn't have a delay in casting. Such a great spell to steal. It's similar to a Fisher from the Earthshaker, but now do they have Mystic Flare? Yes, they do. Ice Path is their slowest, so Mystic Flare onto the Death Prophet, and that is an easy kill.
That was actually looking at top lane as the Bat Rider tried to chase away the Faceless Void. As Lasso is on cooldown, so it won't be able to really kill him. Just forces a TP and even Chrono away. Now I'm shifting my focus to this Tidehunter. He could be in a little bit of trouble as Titan supports are quite nearby him. Instead, they just kind of want to zone it out while NWP continues to kill off these creeps, and they continue sieging this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. The mid-tier 1 tower from Gse7en is looking to be pretty low on health.
Yeah, and well, KYXY, he's defending mid lane for the time being. Ice Path is there well extinct. Will it be enough? Fate Bolt. And they're actually doing a really nice job just counter pushing, and oh, Exorcism! And Rubik really stole the Exorcism. Blinking lasso onto Leo. Can they get an easy kill on the Death Prophet? The Arcane Bolts, the Fate Bolt comes out as well, and now Faces Void. The silence on Kenji just time walks away. Man, they have all the teamfight in the world, but they just can't get to use it.
Nice assassination there, just to finish off the Tidehunter and Bat Rider. He is really just going a little bit too YOLO here, I feel. Down to about 380 health or so. They do get the bottom tower, and Enigma very clutch. He actually gets a deny on the middle tower, but will pay with his life as he falls to NWP as well as the Bat Rider. So overall, Titan has taken every tier 1 tower, despite Gse7en seemingly having the better push lineup. They haven't really gotten anything accomplished.
Yeah, they definitely haven't, and Ohio, if he really wants to, he can already go for a 4-staff, maybe even pick up those early boots of travels that some Bat Riders love. KYXY got his own Hand of Midas finish now as well, so double Midas on their team. They're already ahead by miles. Looking at the graphs again, it's almost an 11,000 gold lead, 12 minutes into the game, and 10k XP as well. And Yamate, he's level 11, level 2 reincarnation, and just blinks out just before the guys comes from Kenji. But no.
Okay, well we will see. Look at I'm noticing Titan's wards. They're pretty darn aggressive with them across the map. They have one in the enemy jungle, and they pretty much actually just taken over Gse7en's jungle. They will move into the mid lane, see if they can get it to defend off. Bat Rider, his Blink Dagger now available to be used. He does have the lasso, blinks forward. Doesn't really find a target though, so there will not be any blink for the time being. Meanwhile though, NWP, he moves into the middle of everybody. Out comes the Ravage as well, buying a little bit of time, but Jakiro still looks to be the first one to fall. And there's goes ahead. The Mystic Flare doesn't really accomplish too much either though. But NWP, man, he is just hacking down the opposition. It looks like he will get a triple kill, taking down the Tidehunter. After that Enigma, he is forced down though, but does have the reincarnation. Blinks forward, puts the stun onto Death Prophet as well. The mech is buying a little bit of time, but not enough as the DP falls. That is a 4-for-1 trade. They do use the reincarnation on Yama. Doesn't matter. It's still a very, very good trade for Titan, and they really are just showing that NWP goes top and also gets a solo kill on the Void as well, but holy crap, Caltro, this is just turning into a complete rout on Gse7en, man. They're Titan is running circles around Gse7en at this point.
They certainly are, and I guess some or most people here maybe would have expected this kind of outcome. Although them, with a lineup that they have, just making it so that Gse7en has no chance whatsoever. Of course, Gse7en, their lanes were rather static, so maybe that was one reason of their downfall. They do still have their wombo combo available to them, so if they want to, they possibly can still come back if they hold on. And I mean, we've yet to see a proper like Ravage into Black Hole. Have we even seen one Chrono at all?
I saw one Chrono in the top lane where Gse7en had to use it in order to properly TP away from the Batrider. But yeah, you're right, Coucher, we haven't really seen the whole wombo combo from Gse7en. And I'm kind of waiting for it. Meanwhile, mid lane, looks like Death Prophet will be caught a little bit out of position. Taken down quite easily as well. It's Titan supports, this Wraith King and WP, they are simply in the right places at the right time. We see a ping onto Roshan, so that's probably where Titan plan on going next, if not very soon. Yeah, everybody's heading towards those, so I believe they will take him down. And Gse7en, they do have the wombo combo, but will they even get there in time? Will it even matter at this point? It's 4-19 and it's only 15 minutes into the match.
Yeah, and soon Titan will actually surpass the magical 1k per minute XP and gold lead as well. XP a little bit closer actually. And man, it's so sick that you're 13,000 gold behind, although 3 of your outer towers are actually still up. So that just means how much more efficient Titan have been with the farming, and of course getting the kills never hurts.
Yeah, I would have to say the kills are a pretty big part of that. And even looking at Sniper and Wraith King's last hits, they're both at 80 and 81, which is, you know, not too bad for this stage of the game considering how much action and team fighting there's been. Also notice that the Batrider picked up the Aegis. I suppose that it's not really the biggest item for the Wraith King to pick up, since he already does have a built-in Aegis with his ultimate essentially. And mid lane, we will have a Chrono onto the Batrider, but he's the one who has the Aegis. Doesn't even matter if they kill him. He still will get away. Meanwhile, everybody from Gse7en, they backed off for a second, but the Ravage will come out. Can it actually accomplish anything? Batrider, his ult, he's killed, so the Aegis will be expended. Meanwhile, KYXY solo and help the Liquid Fire. It will actually end up ticking and killing, bringing him down. Kenji tries to finish out X, but will be forced away and now just kind of picked off by the supports.
Yeah, in the end it was kind of like a 2 for 2 if you count the Aegis as well on the Batrider. The initiation definitely wasn't the best from Gse7en because chronoing a hero who has the Aegis. Now blinking, the stun onto Kalai comes out. Yamate, they should get an easy kill. Flame Grave to push him back. A few right clicks and Wraith King, well, he's just on a roll, 8-0 and 4.
Ouch, man. It's got to be brutal being Gse7en. I think Titans just... it's clear that they're on another level, and especially after going to TI and playing with other world-class caliber teams, you're used to playing people that good, and if you play kind of teams that are a little bit of a step down, this is essentially what happens here. Gse7en, I felt like they had an amazing draft too. Like, they could have really taken it to Titan, especially if the skill difference was closer, but it's clear that that's unfortunately not the case. And we'll also see a lasso onto Death Prophet. Just getting DPS down by almost everybody on Titan, dragged up to the high ground, finished off by the Assassinate. Oh my. That's just throwing salt into the wound. Now 5-23. Titan, it's only a matter of time, I feel.
Yeah, it's definitely not going too good at all for Gse7en, and I think Titan, they're at a point where there's no comeback from Gse7en anymore. Even if they land their huge ultimates, I think Titan, they should have the experience to just be spread out enough during the team fight anyway as it is, and just use the spells. Rubik, of course, maybe even steal one of those ultimates and just completely turn the whole fight around. But showing Chrono only onto net. Well, will he actually get that kill as well? Telekinesis from X.
It looks like they will actually get him. Oh, he uses his wand. There's that a concussive shot before he falls, but it's going to be quite hard to survive as a Skywrath under the Faceless Void Chrono, in addition to the Midnight Pulse from Enigma. So, despite that, everybody was kind of concerned getting that solo kill. NWP, aka Yamate, pushing in the bottom tier 2 tower, and we do have Batrider spotting out some of these enemy heroes. Wraith King, he blinks away, has already picked up his Mjolnir, by the way, so keep that in mind. Well, Batrider has a Force Staff and Boots of Travel. He's had the boots for a while, but just really showing 4-0 and 11. He's got money to spend.
Yeah, picks up a gem now as well. As Faceless Void finally gets his Mask of Madness, but that's his first item. He doesn't even have his boots finished up. Net worth wise, he's second from the bottom. And at the moment, Titan, absolutely every single one of their heroes has actually surpassed the whole of Gse7en.
I just saw that. Oh my gosh, that's pretty brutal. When your support is above the safe lane carry of the enemy team, what do you do, man? What do you do at that point? I feel like there is nothing to be done.
Yeah, there's probably not. I mean, Yamate, he's just feeling confident enough to be solo on this bottom lane without actually any real backup. Some heroes are close by, but Yamate, he has a reincarnation, 1 minute cooldown on it done as well, already level 16. And he's just so far ahead of net worth even of his own teammates.
Yeah, that's true. Midas really doing work, and it does help that he has 8 kills to his name as well as 0 deaths. That's probably helping out a little bit with that net worth. Meanwhile, it looks like we have yet again another lasso to the high ground. Oh my gosh, that's got to be no fun at all. But Wraithing actually stuck on the high ground for a few more seconds. We'll have a double chrono, one of them stolen by the Rubik, and this Faceless Void actually couldn't really do anything. They do get net, unfortunately, but, well, I guess fortunate if you're Gse7en. Look him out the Mystic Flare. It looks like they do get the Enigma, though, so 2-for-1 trade into Titan's favor, and WP 4-step forward. Who will he actually go after? He puts a stun onto the Jakiro. I don't think he really cares if his ultimate's used up. Brings him down quite low on health. The Skyrth as well, very low. But now the Faceless Void, he's slowed down, trying to run away, getting DPS down. There is a nice Ravage from Kenji. They actually kill off the slightly cocky Wraithing. That's 1,344 gold going to the Death Prophet, sorely needed for Gse7en. And they actually defend the high ground for the time being, but during that entire fight, KYXY pushing in the top lane. He's done a little bit of damage to this tower, but just imagine if Titan's entire lineup was actually in that bottom lane. I'm pretty sure it would have just been a team wipe.
It most likely would have been, but I guess being so far ahead has its disadvantages as well. You start feeling invincible, which you definitely are not, as we just saw. And they still have Black Hole as well. They did use every other ultimate. Unfortunate for the Chronosphere most of all, because Extinct, first of all, the Flame Break from the Batroyer pushed the Faceless Void back to the low ground, so his time walk was already on cooldown, couldn't get back up to go for the Rubik. And of course, Rubik summoned stolen Chronosphere. It did hold, I think, both the Enigma as well as the Death Prophet in place.
Yeah, it did. It was a pretty good chrono. We'll have another net, this time onto Tidehunter, hit with the assassination, brought down to about 400 health, lifted up into the air, but he is A-okay. He will survive.
Well, he's pretty damn tanky after all. They need a little bit extra. Yamate needs to actually be there as well, just provide those extra Mjolnir procs for themselves. And, well, looks like they are finally going to group up as 5 and just try to pressure this way.
I think it may be time. There is a few pings onto the courier from, ooh, will it be spotted? I think Titan know about it. They've seen it. Can they actually get the courier snipe though? That is the question. Yes, they will. They get the courier. It has 1,800 gold on it as well. Bottom lane though, this looks to be where the action will be happening. And potentially, the action will be happening. I'd like to see Titan just group up as 5. It's, like I said, Couch Short's time, man. They need to move in here and get some tier 3 towers. It's 25-8, 22 minutes into the game. They're so far ahead. I feel like they do have the ability to push high ground.
Yeah, and Gse7en, they just smoked, although it might have been seen for Titan. It is nighttime, so no pings come out, so I guess they didn't see the smoke. But they are backing off for the time being. And I have no idea if the smoke is going to do anything. Actually, on the courier that died, the finished Yule's Scepter was there for the Death Prophet. So he won't have that to just try to make an escape on Ohio. He's being so sneaky on the side. Oh man.
Oh, blinks away just in time, but oh, there's an excellent silence on Faceless Void. He wanted to use his ultimate and will get finished off by the Rubik. And that is definitely not a good situation for Gse7en. Faceless Void down for another 30 seconds, no buyback. I wouldn't be surprised if Titan just simply push in here. I really think they can do it now. It looks like Titan were waiting for a few big items before pushing in. They've got the Reaver on Wraith King as well as that finished Eye of Scotty onto the Sniper. So they'll go ahead, start sieging the tier 3 in the bottom lanes down to about half health. And I mean, Gse7en, they have to hope for the best, but Wraith King, oh my god, Yamate just completely obliterates this Enigma. They're killing off these players from Gse7en before they can get any of the ultimates off. Tidehunter silenced, he wants to use his ultimate, can't get into a good position, but in comes the Faceless Void. He gets a nice he gets a nice chrono on 2 people. Out comes the Titan with the Ravage. They will kill off the Sniper. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far. And can they actually get the Faceless Void? A few more seconds left on this chrono. It's available, but nope. Will be killed off by the Scarf. Before that happens, all of a sudden it's 4 members dead on Gse7en, only 2 dead for Titan. And it's time for the Tier 3 tower to fall. It looks like it's the last stand for Gse7en. They will have a buyback on the Death Prophet, but does it really matter?
Well, it probably won't. They're just so far ahead at this point. They might back off for like 20 seconds, wait for Wraith King's reincarnation to come back up, and then reinitiate. Ohio is still hanging around with actually almost no mana at all. He's just living on the edge. Might pay for his... No. I think he's gonna be fast enough. Leo still doesn't have that Kiilstofte thanks to the courier death.
Oh, he stops moving for a second. I think though, yeah, the Blink Dagger will be off cooldown, so he can get away. Uses his boots to go back to base. So he's a-okay. This Wraith King, though, he has to be a little bit careful. He does have the reincarnation, however. So even if he's kind of caught at, I think he's a-okay. Picks up the heart. Oh, nah, they won't get it. Good attempt, but it's not happening. Oh, NWP blinking back. Can he actually get a stun onto one of these heroes? Well, he will be silenced. And... everybody from Gse7en looks to be just a little bit too afraid of this Wraith King. He's been very aggressive blinking forward. Can he actually find some of the stun? Yes, he will find the Jakiro. It just starts DPSing down. Lifted up now by X, and it's enough. They take him down with a few crits. But look at that. The Yule Scepter's back, man. It's completed. Crypt Storm stolen by the Rubik. Not the best spell to steal, but still an annoying one at that.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, top laner, I guess, into the river. They're having a little back and forth fight. This Faceless Void, his ultimate's on ready to go. He may actually have to use it if he wants to survive, but no. He uses the Time Lock. Oh, and he can't TP away in time. Batrider actually ends up killing him. Faceless Void, he really wanted to save the chrono. He did save it, but he lost his life. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we'll see a stun onto the Batrider, and then, there we go, there's the Enigma's ultimate. It's stolen, though, by X, and they're going to get a double kill from the look of things from Yamate. He blinks forward, gets his kill now on the Enigma. There's the GG called out from Gse7en. There's just simply nothing that could have happened after that. Jesus, Couchor, that was a bit of a one-sided game, I have to say. Very well played by Titan. It just seems like they were on another level.
Yeah, that's the best way to call it, I think. Just completely outplaying on both individual as well as a team level there. Just perfect rotations, coordination. Of course, they went a little bit too eager in somewhere. Yamate just being a solo man mission there. But in the end, didn't really matter at all. They were just so far ahead at that point that they virtually could do anything. And one fun fact, the Faceless Void actually backtracked the assassinate in the river while running away. In the end, of course, still fell down, but man, that lucky backtracks.
Yep. Well, once again, well played by Titan. I hope that they don't ban out the Meeple from Gse7en next game, so maybe we can see that from them, but it's still a tall order. Titan are the heavy favorites, even more so after that last match, and this is a best of 2, so we do have one more match with these two teams coming up for you guys momentarily. And also, I believe we have some HeflaTV shoutouts if you like to do those, Couchor.
Yes, guys, if you enjoyed us, please be sure to follow us on Twitch, on this channel, as well as HeflaTV 2 and HeflaMoke, the English channels for us. And if you want to know when we're going live, with what games, what tournaments, on what channels, check out our social media. It's HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter, and for the Russian viewers, on VK as well. So check it out if you want to support us and want to know more about us. But we are heading into game number 2, and it's just a few minutes away.